All right, this is Insecure, Season 4, Episode 10. And what we're going to do is start out with an old clip from last week's show. At the very beginning, just a small clip. And this is to set up what's going to come next, which is Lawrence and Issa sitting on the couch and discussing about whether he's going to be a trolley nigga, because like she's saying, she can't fuck a trolley nigga.
Hey, did I ever tell you about my friend Nathan?
The song is by your friend Nathan, or is the artist called My Friend Nathan? Damn, I sound old.
No, Nathan is a guy I used to date a while ago, but we're just friends, and he asked me to help him move into his new spot this week.
Oh.
But I don't have to if it makes you uncomfortable.
I got you turned out like that?
Okay, now you relax. I want to be honest. Because I don't want to mess this up. Whatever this is. What is it again?
What do you want it to be?
I don't know. Are you still wrapped up? Any loose ends dangling? Any loose vaginas flapping about?
What the fuck? You asking about Condola?
Oh, I mean, since you brought her up.
Yeah, we talked and it's done.
Oh, okay then. So, you gonna move to San Francisco and be a trolley nigga? Because I can't fuck a trolley nigga.
Man, I still gotta nail the interview, so no need to put the trolley before the horse?
Aw, this nutty got you so confused.
I'm confused. Okay, all right. Well, come here then. Unconfuse me. I do.
I'm so proud of you. This is so exciting.
Yeah, it's, they're gonna give me my own team finally. I get a corner office. I even get an assistant.
Oh, well, my assistant's cousin is looking for a job. Said he's really good at hitting niggas with that heat, or whatever that's worth.
Not much. They give me a relocation fee.
That's great.
So, what's the deal? Is distance, is it a deal breaker?
No, it's not. San Francisco is a 45-minute flight, and, if things stay good between us, who knows? Maybe I could...
Or you move? Or what about your work? I mean, your family, your friends?
I can make new friends. Shit, I might need to. Honestly, I'm at a point in my life where I just want to cut out the bullshit and surround myself with things that make me happy. Like you. So, if we want this to work, it'll work.
Good. Because I want it to work too.
So, we'll figure it out.
Now, you see why that previous clip, and the one before that I played in the opening, was so important, because it sets up the question of why Lawrence is so hesitant. Okay, Issa has been wishy-washy about him moving to San Francisco, so he's not sure. And he knows from past history, if she's not sure, Issa can go left. Okay? So that's why he wants to make sure that she's on board and not put words in her mouth, because Issa will agree with him and go do something else, and he knows it. So a lot of women would say, well, how come he didn't just come out and say, this is what we're going to do, and I'm moving here, and I want you to go with me, blah, 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 blah. Okay? That's not the relationship, and that's not the way it works, because Issa is very headstrong. So he asked her, is it okay? And he's actually shocked. If you go back in the clip and look at his eyes, he's shocked that she's willing to move, because she's so wedded to her friends. She's so wedded to Los Angeles. She's so wedded to the career that she just created, and that makes her happy. And the last time she says she was in it. She went off and cheated. So he wants to make 100% sure that she's on board this time. And the way a man talks to a woman, he has to be confident that she'll do it. A lot of guys will be confident or say stuff confidently and strongly and hope that the woman will follow. But the thing is, if you just meet her, that's one thing. If you've been with her for 5 years, that's another. So he does get the job. He becomes a trolley nigga. And he does ask her what the deal is. And she says she's willing to make it work. But you also know if we continue the way things are going. So she's still not 100% on board. But that's Issa. And you know that she's not 100% on board because she's still working with Nathan, even though that's what she says. So, I mean, what do you want from the dude? He says, we'll figure it out. We'll make it work. He says, good, because I want it to work too. What else do you want from him in this particular instance? So I hear a lot of people saying that Lawrence should be more declarative. He shouldn't be so wishy-washy. He should be more sure of who she is. He can't be because he forgave her. He came back to get her when he didn't have to. He could have packed up her shit, moved to San Francisco, and never seen her again. But he came back to give her a second chance. So that means by any instance that he was in it just for him to come back. A lot of people forget that. If you think that Issa's ruining his trust was just a iffy thing, just a wishy-washy thing, that's just okay. She is just some side dick that she had and he could have forgave her. Well, in this instance, he did. In this instance, he wants to make it work this time. Not only for her, but also for him. All right, we next see Molly and Andrew at Molly's work function. And they're having a good time. They're telling jokes. They're schmoozing. It's a bunch of lawyers that are getting drunk. And I guess Molly's feeling good. They're playing a game by seeing if Andrew can actually identify all the people that work from what Molly has told him. And he's 5 for 5. Even down to Torian, who they call him the male Elizabeth Holmes because he has a black turtleneck on. But the new intern, the new guy, BJ, comes over and introduces himself and shakes Andrew's hand. And he invites them to another function after the work function. And Molly just invites herself and Andrew to the function. And Andrew was saying sorry that he can't make it, as Molly's actually saying, yes, we'll be there. And so BJ says, well, make it if you can, and sorry if you can't. Molly has to talk Andrew into coming. She has to bribe him by saying she's going to get the bartender to play some of his artist records so he can make a work function just like hers. So Andrew agrees, and as usual, she gives him a kiss, say you're the best. Yeah, we'll see later on in the show why this is important. How Andrew's feeling, because he's at his wit's end about how to handle Molly and her lack of awareness, her selfishness. But in the next clip, we're actually going to look at Issa in the shop with Nathan, and Nathan declaring his feelings for her.
Look, I'm sorry about what I said about your ex. That wasn't cool. I get that I messed up, but, hearing you back with him fucked with me a little bit more than I thought.
I'm sorry. That wasn't my intention.
No, I know.
And I really want to be a good friend to you, but I'm with Lawrence now, so if that's too much.
It's not. I just wanted to be honest about how I felt. And the last thing I want to do is make your life more complicated. You really ate lunch in the closet?
And breakfast. I named all the mops.
Now, this is a point where I don't like how they write this particular show. Now, Issa is still friends with her ex, and that's messy. This is how she got into trouble the last time with Daniel, keeping her ex as a friend around too close. So when something stressful happens, guess where she's going to turn? Now, if you've seen this is probably a good thing. I thought even last week that she's going to wind up with Nathan anyway. And as things turn out, she probably will. So I thought this was a train wreck ready to happen because he professes his love for her and how he feels. And he says something like he doesn't want to make her life more complicated. So she accepts him as a friend. And I don't like orbiters. Even though he's not a beta male, I don't like orbiters. And I'm sure eventually, even if Lawrence was up there in the city in San Francisco and basically were flying back and forth in a long distance relationship, would you want to be in a long distance relationship when your ex or your current girl that you recommitted to is working closely with her ex? I would say that would make me feel very uncomfortable. But this is Insecure, and I guess this is what they do. They're here for the mess. Next segment, we see Molly and Andrew coming back from the work function. Andrew wants to sit on the couch and watch LaToya because he doesn't want to watch it without her because he doesn't want to try to keep the spoilers to himself. And as usual, Molly wants to do what Molly wants to do. She's tired. She wants to go lay down and take a nap. And so Andrew's getting ready to watch it. And Molly comes in, well, I don't want you to watch it without me. And Andrew's just getting frustrated. He says, okay, you know what? We'll do it on your schedule. And then Molly says, what is that supposed to mean? And they're getting ready to get into it and talk about it. And then Kelly calls, and it's an emergency because Tiffany has went to the movies and not come back. And Derek's all worried. So they table that argument until they can actually get back together. So next thing we see is that they're over at Derek's house, Derek and Tiffany's house, and Derek's pacing back and forth. And he's trying to call the theater, trying to locate her, trying to figure out where she went. And they can't. So they all get in a car and they drive over to the theater to look for her. So they ask around and they question everybody and they figure out that she's probably been drinking because there's a bar. And they go to the bar and sure enough, the bartender has kind of recognized her and said that she got in an Uber. And then Derek said, well, there's an Uber charge. So after they figure out there's an Uber charge, they drive over to the restaurant where they said that she's probably has gone. So they get there, they get downtown, they get to the restaurant, and nobody remembers seeing her. So what they do is they convince the guy, probably bribe the guy to go back and look at the tape, and they recognize her on the tape. They figure out what time it was. They look outside and find out she's gotten on the city bus. So she can't have traveled too far. So they get on the city bus and they call around to all the hotels to figure out which one she stayed at. And they finally get a hit at the Sheraton. And so they get off the bus. There's a slight confrontation as usual because it's Insecure. The cops are called. They get away from that. And then before that, there's a clip that I want to play because Derek's actually on the bus. And he's saying something about helping out his wife, even though that she knew she was unhappy, and how he couldn't be there enough. And what he said was something similar to what Issa had said about Lawrence back in episode 8. And actually something that everybody has been telling Molly, that she's not going the full effort. And he's sorry he can't do more. But we'll listen to the clip and we'll be back on the other side.
I knew she wasn't happy, but I thought maybe time would help. But I didn't know how to fix it. I tried to get her help with the baby, but she just shut me out. I just didn't think it would get this bad. I can't believe I let this happen. I could have done more.
No, Derek, you have done so much to support her. You're a good dad. You're out here trying to find her. You gained 5 pounds of sympathy weight.
15.
And you look good. Honestly, Derek, none of us are perfect. We're all just trying to figure it out.
Now, what Derek said was very profound. And it's probably one of the most profound speeches probably in this season. And it kind of crystallizes the problem that probably the whole cast has been having. Issa with Lawrence, Molly with Issa, Molly with Andrew, the whole thing. It acts as a wake-up call, but sometimes those wake-up calls are too late. Now, they find Tiffany. Tiffany's fine. She's been upset. She's been confused. She's been depressed. And similar to what Lawrence went through, when he said he didn't know what else to do. And Tiffany echoes the same words, that she didn't know what else to do. And the difference is that with Derek didn't blame her. He just wanted to make sure that she's okay, which is probably another time I'll play that clip separately and we'll actually delve into it. But we're going to jump into the next clip with Molly and Andrew. And this has been brewing probably since the first episode, about Molly being demanding and wanting her way and Andrew giving in. Because Andrew knows to make this work, and I've been there, to make this work sometimes with a woman like that, you have to give up a lot. Sometimes she's worth it and sometimes you're not. And at some point, and I think Andrew has reached this point, that it's not worth it anymore. And most guys that have been watching Insecure over the past, I would say, month, have known, okay, at what point is he going to break? At what point is he going to snap? And you wouldn't think it would be over a TV show. But TV show in itself is not that important. But it's always a straw that breaks the camel's back.
That's Tiffany.
She's okay. It's a little rough right now.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to leave out.
No, we don't have to get into it right now. I know you had a long night.
I did, but I think we should still talk and get it all out, because if not, it'll just get worse.
Yeah.
Andrew, can you please talk to me?
Honestly, it just seems like maybe we're not on the same page.
I know that I should have definitely gone with you to go see your brother, and that's my bad. I am so sorry.
Yeah, but it's not just about my brother. I've been feeling this way for a while now. I don't know. What if we're just not a good match?
No, that's not it. Neither one of us have gotten this far with somebody before. That has to mean something.
I don't think it should be this hard.
So what? We put in all that time for nothing? You just want to give up? Listen, I know that it's been hard, but we can work at it. I want to work at this. Whatever we got to do, we got to go to therapy. I'll be more open. I'll share more. I can be better.
What are you fighting for right now? Forget about this time. Forget about everything. Is this what you really want, Molly?
All right, now here's the coup de grace. Now, this is probably why I don't like women's shows, because they do stuff that doesn't make sense. And the big question was about Lawrence and Condola, because in episode 8, Condola was actually blowing up Lawrence's phone. And a lot of women that were on Twitter and even on YouTube surmised that Condola was pregnant. And I didn't believe it, because I didn't think they would delve into such a cheap shot. Because up to now, the show has, even though I haven't liked the show that well, it's been classy. And baby mama drama is not classy. That is for lesser shows. But guess what? They pulled the old rabbit out of the hat and they went low. This is the interaction between Condola, Issa, and Lawrence.
Condola came over last night. She needed to talk.
Okay, about what?
I'm pregnant.
What? No, but I thought we were careful.
Me too.
Are you sure it's mine?
Yes.
But
When did this happen?
it was before me and you, and before I found out about the job.
So what does this mean? Is she gonna keep it?
Yes. I'm keeping it.
Why? Why this is not a good time. We're not even together. Why would you want this?
This is not ideal for me either. But that's just not an option for me. I wasn't ready with Mark. But this time I want to keep it. And it's not like I don't want kids. I do.
Fuck. This is just
A lot.
I know. Okay, we're still processing everything. I just had to tell you.
So this means you're getting back with her.
No, I told you I want to be with you.
But you're having a baby with someone else.
But I didn't plan this, Issa. I don't want this to happen.
I know. And I'm not expecting anything from you. I don't want you to feel trapped. You can be as involved as you want. Either way, I'm good.
I'm sorry.
This is too much. I thought she was finally... Fuck.
Well, now that you've heard it, this one kind of hit home because I've been in Lawrence's exact spot. Can't tell the tale, but I know how he feels. And I said the exact same thing he said. Fuck. Almost, almost word for word. The exact same thing Lawrence was talking about. You had just gotten yourself together. You had just established a good relationship with the woman that you wanted. And things were looking fairly good because you had just finished one chapter, getting ready to start a new one. And up jumps the old pregnancy devil. And like always, they want to keep it. So I can understand Issa. I can understand Issa being mad. You know she's going to be mad. Of course she's going to be upset because you just gave her your word that things were over. You just gave her your word that they could start a new chapter. And the one thing that could disrupt it absolutely jumps up. Now, I don't care what she says. I don't care what Condola says. Condola did this on purpose. She's saying that she wasn't ready with her husband in wedded bliss to have a child. But all of a sudden, she's ready now. What she means is she's ready with you. Now, if she really wanted to have the child and not have you around, then she wouldn't have told you till after the child was born. She's telling you now is because you are leaving and she doesn't want you to leave. So now she's giving you everything that she asked for, which is the same damn thing that Molly just did with Andrew. When it's time to go, when it's time to leave, they always want to give you everything that you want. Just like Molly was saying, we can go to therapy. We can, I'll be more giving and I'll be more open. I'll be more forgiving. All the stuff that you asked for throughout the whole relationship, she wouldn't give you until you're ready to leave. Issa did the same damn thing in season 1 and most of season 2. You have to leave a black woman once before she's willing to bend. Same thing with Condola. Condola all but told Lawrence where to go, but what to do, what she wasn't going to do. Now he's getting ready to leave. Now you having a baby? Now you're ready for a baby and marriage and all that kind of stuff? Come on. Who do you think you're fooling? One of my Twitter subs said the same thing. This is a keeper baby. It's a keeper nigga baby. That's what it is. That's all it is. And and if you could go back and look at the scene, Lawrence was cutting her daggers. Like, what the hell? I thought we were safe. I thought we were too. Now, come on, sweetie, you're over 30 years old. You've been married. You haven't even, as far as we know, you haven't gotten pregnant yet. And all of a sudden, all those safety measures fail because you're with Lawrence after he leaves you and you're not together? Please. And a lot of women are asking, well, why the question, are you going to keep it? It's an unplanned pregnancy. And that's what you want to make sure that it's clear before you go off and you wreck your other parts of your life. I don't know why women think because it's an unplanned pregnancy, everything's supposed to stop. It's not. And nobody said, when Issa said the same thing, is she going to keep it? It's always the man's fault. Now, that's a hard thing to say, and I have to commend Lawrence, which nobody does. Okay, he could have ghosted. He could have disappeared. He could have just jetted and not said anything for weeks, but he didn't. The next day, he walked in, took a deep breath, and he told her exactly what was up, and he apologized. It's not what he wanted. But at the end of the day, there's nothing he could do. And he put it on her lap and let her make a choice. And she's probably going to go back to Nathan. I don't blame her. You know, your ex that you put yourself out for, you thought things were getting better, and gets another woman pregnant. Is what it is. I think this was a cheap shot by Insecure. It was a cheap hook to get women invested because pregnancy is such a loaded topic, especially in the black community. And baby mama drama does sell, but I do think that these characters were owed better than this. If she was going to tell him that she was pregnant, she should have done it before they got together. She should have done it before that night. Issa and Lawrence were together almost a month before she decided to come over and tell him. She could have walked over at any time and told him. If she blew up his phone that night about dating, she could have blew up this phone the whole time that Issa and Lawrence were together. And she didn't. That's why I know she held it. Either she held it or she just found out. I had told you guys that back in episode 3, they weren't done. And when she said to Issa that they had broken up, they weren't done. I keep telling you guys, from the very first time she saw Lawrence at Tiffany's baby shower, she wanted him. She approached him. She went out with him. He found out she was divorced. He cut her loose. His father talked to him. He basically asked to date her again. Okay? She wants him. She was willing to overlook her liaison with Issa to still date him because she wants him. And to say just because of some frivolous thing or he's not up to par, bullshit. She's not going to find too many Lawrences. And she knows it, just the way Issa knows it. It's like Issa was going to take her little narrow ass up to San Francisco and be happy. That's why she's pissed, is because that she got the man that she wanted. The man that she wanted forgave her for her discretions, and life snatched it away. She wasn't mad at Lawrence. She's mad at life because this always happens to her. Just when things were going good, something jumps up and snatches it away. Now, hopefully, this will be the end of the Issa and Lawrence saga because after 4 or 5 years, I'm sick of it. And for it to end this way, I think is a dirty trick, which is why I do not like female shows. The whole plot twist was it so that Issa and Molly would be back in the same boat that they've been over the last 4 years with relationship problems and man problems, much of which they cause. Now, a lot of women are saying that Issa's rushing into Lawrence and she's too eager to be with him. She asked for this. Lawrence didn't ask her to be with, come back and be with him. She asked for another chance. He gave her another chance. He put his stamp on it, even to the point where he was willing to allow Nathan to stay in her orbit because he didn't feel that he had a right to actually tell her not to. He wanted her to make her choice. Okay, now the choice is made for him. Now, I hope this is it. I do not want to see Lawrence and Issa back together again ever. I always thought Condola was the better choice for him anyway. I just didn't want her to do it this way because now he can't trust her either. So now there's going to be angst between him and her because she screwed up his choice. So that's always going to stay with him. And don't tell me that she didn't know. Don't tell me that this was an accident because it's bullshit. She's too old. She knows how birth control works. And she did this because he was leaving. And she knew it. Don't ask me how I know. So this is not a happy ending for me. I know it's a black female show and this stuff goes on all the time. And the black women saw it coming a mile away because they seen this on shows many, 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 many times. And they seen their girlfriends do the same shit. And for her to say that he can be as involved as he wants to be, either way, she's good. And she's not asking for anything. It's bullshit. That always changes. And it's going to change. Mark my word, in season 5, Condola will be on his ass. She ain't just going to go someplace and disappear. Women that's going to go someplace, have a baby, and disappear don't approach you. They go find their own support group, and they don't even tell you till the baby's like a year or two old because they don't want anything from you. They got what they needed. She did this because she wants Lawrence back, and she wants Lawrence to be the father of her child. She knows what she wants. She's having this baby for Lawrence. No woman changes her mind about a baby just because of fucking pregnancy. Trust and believe. No woman of her age is going to take a chance on getting pregnant, especially if it's an untenable situation, unless they're trying to keep the dude. This ain't no accident. Anyway, at the very end, guess what? Molly and Issa are back in the Ethiopian restaurant talking about relationship problems, just like they were in episode 1 of the first season. Back where we started. It is what it is. Hopefully they have grown and matured and they can handle it better than they did in the first season. But with that, that's all I got for Insecure. Season 4, episode 10, and the finale. I'm sure they're going to be doing over the things and videos with content from the last 3 shows because they put a lot in there. The only reason that we even bother with the show is because the characters are so real, which brings out a lot of emotion in people. And I'm sure this show will bring out a lot of debates on YouTube and on Twitter. But that's all I got for this one. This is BGS out, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.